Whether you love journaling and want to do it more, or you've tried it but never quite made it stick, what I'm about to show you opens up something completely new. Because AI journaling isn't just a new way to do the same thing, it completely changes everything. It changes the whole experience. Hi, I'm Nikki, and I've been journaling and self coaching since 2020. I'm a solo parent to an autistic kid, and so my mornings can get very hectic, and that's when I love to do my journaling. And I genuinely love it. But even as a committed journaler, when I discovered journaling with AI and especially with Claude Artifacts, it shifted a lot of things. It changed so much for me. In this video, we are going to cover what AI journaling makes possible, two common fears that appear, the question of authenticity, and then I'm going to live demo show you one artifact that I created and how I journal with it. So let's jump right in. First, what I would like to talk about and cover is how traditional journaling is different from AI journaling in this understanding. So the traditional journaling can often take 30 to 60 minutes, and this is my experience based on the journaling that I do every morning, for example, for myself, and how I like to do it for my goals and my dreams and what I'm working on, and to like set my day up for success. So AI journaling is a fraction of this time. It doesn't take 30 to 60 minutes, it takes a lot less. And as a solo mom to an autistic kid, mornings are very hectic for me, and the time is very just genuinely restricted. So this is something that is super useful for me, that I am definitely a pen and paper girl. I love using pen and paper when I'm journaling, and that's how I'm doing it. But on the occasions and a lot of the mornings when I don't have the time, I don't have the capacity, I don't have the energy, what I used to default to is not journaling on those days. And now with AI journaling, it is still possible for me to journal. And so that means that I can still reflect, I can still unwind, I can still release pressure, even on the hardest days. I can still reduce the overwhelm that is on my mind, and that is definitely worth it for me. And if it's not just for that, but then also you don't necessarily need to use notebooks, pens, PDFs, no printing. I mean, for some people that's a bonus, right? Definitely, for some people that's a bonus. Like I said, I'm more of a pen and paper girl, generally speaking, but this is still a game changer for me too. And I am so glad that I still get to utilize the benefits of journaling, even on those days when I don't have the time to literally sit down with my notebook and my pen and do the long way. So in this case, you just open the tool and you start. And it turns journaling from a task into a full journaling experience. So for those of you who are like, well, journaling was just never really for me, it feels more like boring, more like a chore, not so much something that I really want to do and really want to stick with, this can change it. And that's so groundbreaking, because for those people who were thinking about journaling this way and experiencing journaling this way, they finally can experience the benefits and the joy and the possibilities and reap all the positives of journaling, and just experience how helpful it can be without having to go through the other way, the usual way, the old way, I would say. So yeah, it turns it into a full experience, and the format lowers the barrier, so you can actually do it more often and not less. And that's what I experienced with myself, that I actually, because of this format, I didn't just not journal on pen and paper anymore, or I didn't just not journal, I actually could access journaling more often, which is definitely a bonus and a benefit for me. And so AI journaling doesn't replace the practice, it removes every excuse not to show up for it. And that's seriously so good. And so there are two fears that I often come across when AI journaling comes to mind. One is that AI isn't safe. And I agree to some extent. I understand that concern. And for that reason, for example, I made sure that in my community called AI Journaling and Self Coaching, I created an AI safety course which teaches my members and people how to use AI in a safer way, what information to share with AI, what information you should never share with AI, what is it that like what you should think through when you want to decide if you want to share a certain thought or a certain experience with AI, like what should be the thought process to go through to decide, and what should be the merits to base it on to make that decision. So I cover a lot of that things in that course. And for me, for example, and for my members, that removed this fear and reduced this fear, and now you know, or they know where to turn to learn about it, to figure it out, to decide if it's safe to share something with AI or not. And the other fear, or the other thing that I came across often, is that people imagine that this means that AI will journal for them. And that's not the case. You will still do the journaling. AI is just a tool. AI changes the format and is just a tool. It's not going to journal for you. That's not what you use it for. Often I see that people use AI like a therapist, and that's what we want to avoid, right? But you can still use AI journaling and not use AI as a therapist and stay safe and still get the benefits. So that's what this makes super amazing and super possible. And that's why I love this form of journaling. So like I said, the concern of AI safety is completely valid, but we just need to learn how to use it properly. And AI is definitely the tool, and the format changes. The enjoyability changes in terms of like it's much more enjoyable, it can be, and the time changes as well because it reduces the time that you need for journaling. More on the authenticity question and on the authenticity side of the things, this is still authentic and still yours. The reflection is still completely yours. AI doesn't think the thoughts for you, and AI can help you reflect on your thoughts for you, but just you thinking through your thoughts and talking them through or writing them down, or using a keyboard or using pen and paper, you still process through your thoughts in a way, and you can ask AI to help you with that and help you understand it deeper. So that's why it's really groundbreaking and so helpful. You still sort through what's happening and still get the emotional benefit of it. Using a tool that works for your brain and your life is not cheating, because that's another thing that I hear, that using AI is cheating. It is not. I am a big advocate of using things that work for you and how it works for you. And if you don't hurt anybody, I think you should do you. And in this case, do what works for you. And so for me personally, for example, the benefits that I still get to journal, I still get to reflect, I still get to reduce the overwhelm, the stress, the struggles, I still get to reflect on my thoughts and just make myself feel better, definitely outweighs the fact that it's AI. And I don't think it's cheating at all. For brains that struggle with boring, repetitive tasks, the AI format removes that friction because it's so interactive and so enjoyable. AI journaling also opened up voice journaling in this case, and that's a whole new way to process compared to writing with your hand or typing. So now you have even more ways to think through and work through your thoughts and reduce the overwhelm and reduce the negative feelings and reap the benefits of journaling. And that's why I highly recommend it. And if pen and paper works for you, it's brilliant. And this is, or can be, for when nothing else has worked. Or it can just be because it's fun and because it's different and because it's a new thing and because it gives you variety into your journaling practice. These are all the benefits and the positive sides of why AI journaling can be so great. And like I said, do what works. If AI journaling makes it faster, more enjoyable, and you still reflect, that is an absolute win. And that's what I usually personally look for, and that's how I decide, and that's what I think about when I think of AI journaling. Now for the live demonstration, I chose this anxiety relief toolkit that I created to show you what you like, how you can imagine an AI journaling template artifact tool. So this is actually a toolkit. It's called an anxiety relief toolkit, and it came to my mind because I woke up anxious today, and like a lot of the mornings I wake up anxious, and that's the first feeling that I feel as soon as I open my eyes. And so I thought this would be a great just demonstration and example to show you. So let's see what we can see here. Here you can see all the different menus of what's included in this. And so there's this little thought from me here. Anxiety does not mean something is wrong with you. It means your nervous system is trying to protect you. This toolkit is here to help you work with it, not fight it. And so there are these little, right now, what is here right now, what you remember, and you are already here. So let's just dive in. So let's start with the check-in. First, we can check in and just see what symptoms we notice on ourselves, like a pit in the stomach, shortness of breath. So you can just tick these. Let's just we will do a few. There are so many to choose from. It's physical, emotional, and cognitive. So maybe you don't feel you don't have any symptoms from the physical, but you have from the emotional and the cognitive. It can happen that way too. I usually definitely have the racing thoughts. And then there's the behavioral as well. So there are actually 4 categories. So let's say difficulty sleeping. And so now we check 7 signs, so it adds up under here, and then we press the understand why button, which will take us to the decoder, which is the second menu. So first you can, on a scale of 1 to 10, you can check how anxious you feel right now. So let's say it's an 8 for me right now, which is high. Be very gentle with yourself. So that's like already helpful for you and giving you just a little heads up. And then you can use the why chain, and you can start writing down what's happening, and it really walks you through the text here, walks you through how to use it. So you can start by writing down why you feel anxious, and then you can go one why deeper. So like, why does that bother you? And that bothers me because, and then so that's one step deeper, and then one step deeper as well. So like 3 layers deeper you can go. And then after that, if there's still something that's left on your mind, or there's still something that you want to add, you can type it here, and then you can reflect on that part as well. And then you can here tap anything that might be playing a role right now. So what can play into it? If you may be not able to write it down here, or like include everything here in this part, you still have a chance here to just check a few more things and say this is what's also playing into it. Now after this, we can calm the body. So these are breathing techniques that are also included in this journaling toolkit, in this anxiety relief toolkit. So first you can check when to use which one, for example. And then let's say you want to go with the 4-7-8 breathing. So you come here, it says here what to do. Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8. So you press the button and it starts counting for you. This is the time when you breathe in, then you hold and it counts for you again, and then it's gonna count for you to exhale. So this will help you with the breathing exercise, and it's really, really useful, and you can pause it. Here you can see how many times you've done it, so how many cycles you went through, and that's also very helpful. And then you can go to the next one, the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique, where you can write down 5 things you see, 4 things you touch, 3 things you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you taste, and you can add them here, and then you can see all of them here down there. And then you can go to the toolkit part, where you literally can assess your own coping toolkit, your own coping mechanisms from the different categories. There are coping skills included here, or coping techniques included here, and you can choose whichever you want to use. I will choose a few just to then show you that at the end, once you chose these, you can press build my toolkit, and then it's going to list everything that you chose for you. And this is now your personal toolkit. So this is what you can choose from. So if you don't want to go through all of them every time, you can have this screenshot it, for example, and then every time you just go to those little techniques and it explains what to do. And then here you have little affirmation cards as well. You can choose all the categories that are included, or let's say you just want the calm cards, and then you just press pull a card. It's gonna shuffle, it's gonna pull a card for you, and then you will click on it and that reveals the card. And then after that, here you can journal on what you got here. I can be still without being stuck. Stillness is not the same as stagnation. Sometimes the bravest thing is to pause and let the things settle. You can pull another card if you want to. Let's say this time I want a release card, and then just pull a card, shuffling, the card is here, tap to reveal. I give myself permission to let this go. I can journal on it down here again on this one as well. So this is super useful. And then at the end, there's an actual journal section where there are many questions that you can journal on, and it's up to you to decide which one you want to do and which one you don't want to do. So you don't need to do all of them, but as you can see, there are so many in the categories, and you can see which one's which. Let's say I want to go to the growth ones, so these are the growth ones, or I just want the healing ones. It's up to you which one you want to do. And with this whole toolkit, what I recommend is you use them as and when you see that you have the need. So let's say when you come here to the home section and you first start using it, you can decide which one you want to use today. Maybe you want to go through all of them, maybe you just want one or two, just a few of them. It's totally up to you to decide. If this has opened up something for you, it resonated with you, then I would love to have you in the AI journaling and self-coaching community. As you can see, it's $5 a month. You can cancel anytime, and we would love to have you if you would like. Let's say you just want to try the anxiety relief toolkit. You can find it there. You can also find the AI safety course that I talked about in the community, and you can find other AI journaling templates, tools there. We would love to have you there, and I would love to know, so please leave it in a comment if you have tried AI journaling before and how did you find it. And I will read all the comments, and thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.